Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kayla Ambrose Show. I'm your host and your travel guide to the other side of things, metaphysical and spiritual. And back today, we've been talking about journey bracelets. So many of them we've been popping out, sharing with you. And we've got some other goodies to talk about today. I'm here with my bestie, Nikki Case. Nikki,
Hi, everyone.
so good to have you back.
Feels good to be back.
What have you been
Mm.
up to, Nikki?
Oh, this and that, a lot, nothing, life. I'm
Rumor says
I'm
you went skiing.
I did, yeah. I'm back from a recent ski trip, which was incredible. I had not skied in it was almost 30 years since this lady had been on the slopes. So it was I was a little
Mhm.
nervous, but an amazing time. It was beautiful. The weather was magnificent. I actually, I was told that it was much like riding a bicycle, and I would agree with that. It came back pretty quickly.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Um,
And it
did
feels good to be
you
back home.
did you have any enlightening thoughts on the slopes?
Enlightening. Um, it I don't know if I'd call them enlightening. I did I'm a breathwork facilitator, so I think we all know breathing is important and some of us try to be a little more conscious and aware of our breath and I did notice in the times that I was a little bit nervous, if I was trying to a little more challenging run or something like that, I noticed I was holding my breath. And it was really interesting that, that reminder of even when we, practice things on a regular basis and we know, quote unquote, we know all the things that we should be doing, that sometimes in the midst of it we forget those things even though we're very practiced at them. So that was kind of an interesting little, sort of a mini aha moment for me. Like, oh yeah, I still have to remember to do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love those questions I have, like, what are you grateful for? What are you thankful for? What are what's a good thing? We were reading those books we loved, right? And they would
Mhm.
about the women, and they would end the day every day with like, what's one good thing? And
Mhm.
we're both a fan of those books, and I think we should carry that on. Like, what's one good thing that you love this week that happened to you?
Mm. One good thing that happened to me this week was returning back home and being able to snuggle with my kitties in bed again.
Aw,
Yeah. Which if,
I'm
if
sure.
you're not an animal person or specifically like a cat person or someone who, lets your animal sleep with you in bed, that might not seem like a big thing, but I really miss that. My cats are super snuggly in bed. So that was a really good thing for me.
Or you might be an animal person, but just not that kind of animal
It's
person.
true. What about you? What's one good thing for you this week?
For me, it was the interior design project I'm working on with the client and getting to pick out fine art for her home. It was amazing and magical, and a day I'll never forget. It was so good.
I love that. That's beautiful.
So, yeah, it was a win this week. It was a good week.
Woohoo!
Okay, so those of you that have joined us for Journey Bracelets, or if you're new and you don't, we make these bracelets that are energy infused and custom design. They have specific intentions in order to assist you on a journey. And we take the bracelets and we make a formula. We put them in a specific order where the stones in each bracelet work and connect with each other, build on the energy they create, boosting that energy in your aura as you wear it to help you on that journey you're trying to do. Whether it's love, whether it's health, whether it's career and money and prosperity or personal development, spiritual development, we've created these specific formulas, we call them. And so you buy these bracelets from us all done together in a stack. There's like five of them usually together. And we explain to you the order of each bracelet, where it goes, and what each gemstone is doing to work and set you out on your journey. And there's a little story written for each one. So you know exactly what's going to happen. And it builds kind of an energy grid that works with your aura and your mind, body, spirit, and helps you explore your spiritual path. So, each week we've been podcasting here, talking about the bracelets and giving you a little insight onto each bracelet, why we made it like we did, what our inspiration was, those kind of things. Today we're going to talk about rejuvenation. And this one, I always thought it was like a vintage look. And it's what I call earthy pastels. So beautiful pastels, but a little muted in their color, like a little bit of brown was mixed into everything, right? Giving them that earthy look. And to me, this bracelet really inspires hope and optimism and self expression and renewal. It's a great bracelet for spring, but it's a great bracelet for any time, really, that you want to do that. And so if you feel drawn to this bracelet that we've called rejuvenation, you're ready to release the past and start a whole new journey, kind of rejuvenating yourself. You don't want to feel tied down anymore. You want to, you know, gosh, get in that convertible, drive off, get on something and drive away. A motorcycle, a scooter, a convertible, a bus, a VW, a
Oh,
bus like in the old day. You want to go do something boho like that and just get out in the desert, gonna, something. You're wanting to go on a journey somewhere, literally, like driving away somewhere, and you want to start over. And so this was a really cool bracelet that we kind of put together. And Nick, do you want to talk about the stones that are in it?
yeah. I also want to say I love that you use the term boho, and I feel like that's such a great description for this particular bracelet because and I sort of think of it as like an elevated boho. It definitely has that sort of bohemian artsy sort of feel to it, but it has, in addition to that, it has sort of this elevated look, which I just really love. And we talk about this that the the sort of the basis for all of these bracelets is the energy that we're trying to create with them, that will assist the wearer on their journey. And that's the big part, but we want it to look beautiful too. And I just love the colors in this, the earthy pastels as you call them. um we start out this particular journey with something called sea sediment, and sea sediment is it's a type of jasper, and we talk a lot about jasper. And we actually use it a couple of times in this particular bracelet, and in this first time that we use it, it's really there um, to help promote sort of stability, um, some grounding, to start that journey off. And Jasper, we always call Jasper the supreme nurturer, and that's really what it's doing here to sort of kick off that journey. Sea sediment too, and I think we've talked about this a little bit before because we've used this in another bracelet or two. It's this beautiful combination. I mean, even in the name, sea, which is water, and sediment, which is earth. So it's this really beautiful combination of earth and water in this particular stone.
Yeah, I love that. Love it so much.
Mhm.
It's such a unique stone. And then
It,
we've used that a couple times in
mhm.
the bracelet, but we've also got the agate in there as well.
We do, yeah. And one thing I want to mention too, this is my geologist coming out, is that agate and jasper are technically the same thing. We differentiate them because agate actually is we separate the two because of how they transmit light, which might sound kind of strange, but scientists, we like to categorize things. So while they are the same, the main difference in them has to do with how light is transmitted or not transmitted through those stones. So agate, for example, it's a little bit more translucent, so more light can pass through it. And what that means, looking at the stone, really, is it has less what we call impurities. I don't want impurity to sound like it's a bad thing. It's not at all. It just means there's kind of like less quote stuff in there, so a little bit more light can pass through. So, so we talk about jaspers being that superb nurturer. We've got agate in here as well, which also has a lot of that same sort of nurturing um, element to it, I guess I would say. This agate that we use, the second bracelet in the stack, is it's a dyed agate, and just to give it a beautiful color. And that agate is going to help transform negative energy. It can turn, sometimes some of us have some of that negative self-talk, that internal talk that isn't always positive, and that this can help sort of transmute that and help transform those negative thoughts into more positive energy and thoughts. It's a stone that helps the wearer take positive actions and to be a little bit more dynamic. So, like if you're kind of, feeling a little bit stuck energetically, this agate can kind of help push you, um, or help propel you a little bit more forward, like putting a little bit more action into your life.
I think jasper grounds and it's
Hmm.
heavier, right? It feels heavier to me. Like it
Yes.
grounds and it supports. Where agate to me kind of lifts and inspires. So you're
Mm-hmm.
talking from the scientific standpoint, right? And I'm seeing that from the auric standpoint, the psychically, how the rocks talk to each other. And
Mm-hmm.
so we kind of did that back and forth, like ground and support, lift and inspire, ground and support. If you look at our formula, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when we meet a little more than halfway, we go into that blue halide with the white druzy, where we're like, okay, you're ready now. Wah wah.
Is that the sound that we get when that happens? Because I
That's
really
how it
like that.
that's how it sounds to me when I put it on. I'm
I
like,
love
wah
it.
wah, I'm ready for my
Hurrah!
close up.
I love it. I love it.
And then little fairies sing, and there's a whole little like Broadway production. And I'm like, yes, because I mean, come on, look at the cup on this bracelet. That's You're not gonna ignore that. That's a
I
cup.
agree. That is a cup and it is beautiful. And I love this particular cup that we use here because it's this really beautiful combination energetically of the white druzy, which is that chunk in the middle, that beautiful chunk. And then we've got these blue beads that are around, which is howlite, a blue howlite. And so it's kind of like this two for one almost in this one particular bracelet that you're wearing, that cup that you're wearing in the midst of everything else that's in the journey. And the druzy is so important for the heart chakra. It helps align the heart and it connects to the higher chakras all the way up to the crown. um Druzy, of course, we've talked about this before, it's a gateway to the spiritual realm, so this is a really powerful stone. And then the blue howlite, of course, is a stone of communication. It's very calming. So we're starting this journey. We're grounding. We're getting lifted up. We're grounding, and then we're going into um, this place where we're opening this gateway to the heart now, into the higher chakras, and we're finding our voice, and we're doing this in a calm way. And that's the one thing I love about the howlite, is it is a great stone of communication in sort of a calm, energetic manner. It's not like chaotic, well, where you're just kind of spewing things.
I just want to interject. I don't know where you found this podcast, how you're listening to us right now. Maybe you're on Spotify or Apple iTunes or Google Play or on my website, Explore Your Spirit. Or maybe you found us where we're landed here, which is lavishgoods.com. And all the podcasts about the bracelets can be heard here on lavishgoods.com. But if you're listening from any of those other places I just listed, go to lavishgoods.com and go to collections, click on journey, and you can see the bracelet we're talking about. You can read about the description of all these stones and about the story. This one is Rejuvenation under collections, under journey. And you'll be able to see the brilliant, brilliant colors here. So just want you to be able to see and hear and all the senses while we're chatting about this. You'll get a great picture of it. And Nikki, after the white druzy, which is amazing, my
Mhm.
favorite stone to say, I cannot say it like regular. I have to go Shusha.
John.
I love it. I love the sound of it. I love the way it sounds in my mouth. I just, I love the stone.
Hmm.
What
I
is it?
agree. It's beautiful. And it is fun to say. And it's interesting because, our company cat, Phoebe, her middle name is Shoshana. But ironically, her brother Simon has decided to join us on the podcast here. Hopefully we're not gonna break anything or disconnect anything as we climb around on the electronics. Um, my goodness. So yeah, the Shoshan stone, it really is beautiful. This is a stone that is often used in carvings. Um, and it I'm so sorry. And it's used to sort of invigorate the senses. It helps the wearer feel empowered, ready to take on action, especially things that may have previously felt unattainable, like, oh, I'm just not sure if I can do this. Like it just kind of gives you that little extra boost. Um, and it's a very connective stone. It helps with creative processes, those artistic endeavors. So if you're someone like me that like you feel like there's a little bit of that creativity in you, but you don't always know how to tap into it. This is a great stone for that.
Yeah, I think we have to work this into other things because it's just, it, isn't it funny how when we work with stones, the energy, that we feel with them and stuff. This is such a like happy, but kind of like mysterious
Hmm.
stone. Like you think you're like, oh my gosh, this feels so happy. I know this stone, but then every time I touch it, I'm like, ooh, it's holding out on me. It's got mysteries that I don't even understand yet. And I love that. Like I feel like, ooh, the longer I wear it, the more that will be revealed. And I've
Mm.
never really thought that with crystals before. I'm like, okay, so it's a rose quartz. I know what it does, blah, blah, blah. But this one, I'm like, tell me your secrets. I want to know. And it's still got more to tell me.
Interesting. I love that. And, I could see just the way you're describing it, it feels a lot like a stone that um, very much attunes itself to the wearer and almost like it's going to reveal things in the time that's appropriate for the wearer, because we're not gosh, we often talk about, especially if you're in, like if you are into like quote unquote spiritual or metaphysical type things, like show me all the things. I want to know all the things. Show me the secrets. I want to understand all the things. And the problem is that, we are very much human and sometimes our logical mind, we think we're ready for things, but we can be shown things and we don't even know that we're being shown things because we're so not ready for it. And so maybe this is that kind of stone that it attunes to the wearer that's like, okay, they're ready now. Now they can see this or experience this, or they're ready to unlearn this or whatever that might be for the particular person.
I'm kind of imagining this like back in the old days where like some of these stones then were made into shields or put on
Mm.
knives or swords, right? And then the stone had different purposes like that, right? To make
Hmm.
you a warrior and feel strong and courageous, or I don't know, like there's so many unsolved mysteries really with all the stones and how they were used in the temples, for different things. And I
Hmm.
think things they knew that we still don't even know.
Yeah, and then taking it or bringing it back to what we're doing here too, which is putting these stones in very specific combinations, and that's having an effect on the energy of the stones as well, right? And opening new doors and pathways and things like that. And then, you take it even further that there's going to be some variation from wearer to wearer just with their energy and their aura, which I think is just really beautiful as well. I mean, it's like possibilities are endless, right? And it's just I think that's really beautiful.
Yeah, and 100% I think the auric energy um that the soul is putting in the body and that each person creates is going to activate the stones a little different for each wearer.
Hmm.
They get
Yeah.
these stories and they're, I'm going to go on this journey, but every journey is unique. What ends up being open for them and inspiring for them. So that's the crazy part.
Absolutely. Yeah, because we've all had different experiences in this lifetime that brought us to this point. We're bringing in karmic energy, and there's so many things. Like you said, no two people slash souls are going to be the same. So it's going to be a slightly different experience for everyone, even with the same bracelet, which I think is just amazing. I love that.
Absolutely. The other one that really does that to me is Labradorite.
Hmm.
Um, every time I look at it, it flashes a different color and a different opening to me of it, where I'm like, I didn't even see blue there before, and now it's
Hmm.
flashing, and it's like it slowly lets me in. And it took a long time. Okay, some of you are gonna laugh at me. Well, you probably been laughing at me the whole time, some of you, but it took a long time for my Labradorite and I to get to know each other. And I felt like it was watching me and learning to trust me. And when it finally did, it started opening up and showing me more flash and color and energy it held inside. But I think it was judging me, it was watching me like, am I worthy to work with it? And some stones aren't like that, they're friendlier. But I really felt that with my Labradorite.
Yeah, it's really interesting because if there were any stone, like if you had said, guess which stone that I had this experience with, I would absolutely positively have said Labradorite because I know exactly what you mean. And someone not too long ago gifted me a very beautiful Labradorite that I'm still getting to know.
You have the best friends.
I really do. Like, wow. As I sit here looking at my cat Buddha that was also recently gifted to me. Um, but Labradorite is very much that way, and I know we're getting off on a little bit of a tangent here, but I think you're right that it is very much that type of stone. It's a very it's not that it's unfriendly, it's just that it's almost like you said, it's almost like you have to prove yourself. Like, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready for you to show me these things. I'm ready to work with you because it is a very powerful stone for sure. And I think can take you to some very deep places and some uncover some very deep things within us in this lifetime and in others, and I think it wants to make sure that you're ready for that. It's almost kind of like a safety mechanism in a way.
Oh, that's a great thought. Safety mechanism. I love that.
Yeah.
Um, this podcast should really be renamed to, like you said, getting off on a tangent.
Getting off on it, I mean, I we do a pretty good job of staying on task, but you put something
What
shiny and pretty in front of us, it's going to distract us.
isn't a tangent? It's not a science thing. Is that a math
It's
thing?
a mathematical thing, yeah,
Yeah.
tangent. It's like a
Hmm.
line that does it actually touch? Oh, goodness gracious, I should know the answer to that. It does. It like touches another surface. Like, you've got this parabola on a graph and there's a tangent, which is a line that touches it in one particular spot.
So, but it's getting off on a tangent. It's like taking you off task, right? So,
Right.
what does that mean in science world?
I'm not sure what you mean. What
Why
does
do
what mean?
scientists say that?
Getting off
Getting
on a
off on a
tangent.
tangent.
I
Yeah.
think, I mean, I don't know the history of like where that saying came from, but I think, the tangent, like mathematically, the tangent is off to the side. Like it's not part of whatever shape or geometric thing you're looking at. So a tangent is something that's kind of off to the side. It's a little separate. And so when you're getting off on a tangent, you're not focusing on that main, whatever it was you were looking at, like my sine curve on my graph. And so, you know, the tangent it's near it, it's close to it, but it's a little bit off of what we were originally looking at.
That's got to be my word for the day, tangent. I love it.
Tangent, okay.
Yeah.
I always like the word tangentially, but it does not roll off my tongue.
Impressive. It's kind of like when we say sidebar when we're talking.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Sidebar. Or when I go squirrel, and that means I'm gonna talk about something completely random.
It's our whole language. I like it. We have to add tangent into there.
I like it. I like it.
But back to rejuvenation. Um, the colors. Again, it's a podcast, so if you can go look at it. Because it's orange and blue and green, and that big jersey is white with blue
Hmm.
highlight, and uh it's an explosion of color. So funny enough, like I want to wear a white shirt with it, right? Just so you
I
can see
was
all the
thinking
color.
the exact same thing, like a
Mm.
crisp white, like shirt, like a button-up shirt. That's what I see with
Yeah,
this.
me too. Right? Because it's
I love
so
it.
much color there. And
Hmm.
it's just a great like summer, really fun bracelet to wear to a party, or out like that at the beach, and a pool party or something. It's got all these
Hmm.
great colors to pick from. And in some ways it looks like all those colors when they're blended together, like lily pulitzer and all that, just those bold
Hmm.
colors.
I
um
agree. That's what I think of a lot too, is like a lot of the colors that you see in her stores with those, like they're very bold and just kind of like bright, and which is interesting because I'm not particularly, like, generally speaking, I don't tend to go for those bolder colors. I tend to go for more muted colors. And I love this bracelet because I think the combination of colors that you have in it give it like enough of that like wow factor and enough of that like pow of color, but it's not so much that you're like, oh, this is a lot. At least to me, it's not.
yeah, well, I think when you want to rejuvenate, you need that bold splash of color.
Hmm.
And same in your aura, right? It needs to splash in there. Same like if you're on vacation and you want to rejuvenate, you need to have some daiquiris and smoothies and lots of fresh fruits. Think about it when you're in the Bahamas or Hawaii, or all those beautiful fruits and colors, and the key lime and the lemon and the pineapple and the oranges. Like that's what revitalizes your aura and your body too, right? All those beautiful fruit and all that
So,
color gets mixed back in.
so what you're saying is Lavish Goods is going to fund a trip for us to Hawaii? That's what I just took away from what you just said. It's
For what
research.
research? Uh-huh. Let's put that on a tangent for a minute, can we?
Okay, you got it. You got it. We'll make sure we talk to our accountant about that one.
And next we'll go to Tanzania to check out some of the stones over there.
Okay. As Nikki is typing away at Travelocity.
But there's something like fresh fruit. Like I get
Hmm.
cravings for different fruit all the time. And it's like what your body needs, what your aura needs. I've been put that in my Awaken Aura book. Like if there's a part of your aura that, one of your chakras that isn't spinning as it should, here's the song, here's the fruit, here's the food, the clothes, everything to wear. So the bracelet does the same thing. It's infusing those colors. I mean, the orange one is my favorite on that
Hmm.
bracelet.
Yeah,
But
it's beautiful.
uh yeah, it's really rejuvenating and bringing that. And so it has to be bright and bold and worn like that, preferably out in the sunshine, out at the beach during the spring or summer. Uh, Bring all the energy back to you. I think it would look so good with a sarong and your swimsuit, and then
I agree.
the white colored shirt, like we talked about, and then I mean, really anything, a denim, it would look great with a dress. It's a beautiful bracelet.
I agree. I agree. It's beautiful.
So if you're ready to rejuvenate, we have the bracelet for you. Check us out, lavishgoods.com. If you haven't already, go to Facebook. There's a Lavish Goods Vibe Tribe group there you can join. We're people that have bracelets, chat with each other and talk about it. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the places. And go sign up for our free newsletter. You get special uh, discounts, and we do sometimes little giveaways in the
Hmm.
newsletter. Like we have special crystals, and we'll put in the newsletter like this month, if you buy this bracelet, here's the special gift you're getting with it. It's a certain kind of crystal and things like that. Like for February, we had these beautiful flower agate hearts that were like palm stones, beautiful. And so the bracelets that were sold in February, got those. But you had to be on the newsletter to get the information and find out about it. So we hope you join us on there. You'll hear about upcoming podcasts and all the things we're doing and all the new collections when they come out. If you want to get ahead of everyone and know what it is and get yours before they're gone, because we only make so many of each kind. Okay, well, Nikki, I think we've done our job here today. I'm gonna uh let us go unless there's anything else you want to say.
No, I'm just sitting here looking at this beautiful bracelet and just thinking I need to get this on my wrist stat.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us today. Hope you're having a beautiful day and a wonderful journey. Bye for now.
Bye.